It's Hump Day.
Hump Day!
It's Hump Day.
Hump Day!
Whoops. Hey, we're live and I'm making mistakes. All right, we're off to a good start. I just posted the Hump Day link on the wrong post, so I will go back and fix that after we do announcements. So welcome everybody to episode 86 of Hump Day Hangouts. Today is the 29th of June, and we have a pretty awesome afternoon lined up for everybody. So first, wanted to say, if you didn't hear yet, we're going to have an open masterclass seminar after this. Bradley has decided to open up that one to everybody. So if you're watching this right now and you haven't heard, you can check out just this masterclass this week by checking out this link that I'm pasting right now. Sorry if you're watching the replay, it's probably a little bit too late. And also, if you haven't yet checked out Marco's post that he wrote, I actually read this yesterday. You are going to want to check this out. So I'm putting that up there as well. So wait until after the Hump Day Hangout and then go check it out. But some really good stuff on semantic web ranking, entities, that type of thing. So please check that out. I believe we had something else. Marco, did you have something?
Yeah, it's under discussion, and we still have to iron out the details. But we are going to have something probably on a daily basis, where some of us get together, probably Semantic Mastery Minute, and we discuss actually current time, what's going on, something that we see, something that needs to be talked about, something that needs to be expanded upon, maybe a question that was really intriguing and we couldn't get to. We don't know how it's all going to pan out, but that is coming. It's going to be free. Again, it'll take place on probably Facebook Live, YouTube, the way that we're doing it now.
Maybe Snapchat.
Maybe. There you go. We could do that. Maybe we could do all three and kick Twitter in the butt while we're at it, right?
Yeah.
So something along those lines, so that we're available to as many people as possible when we're doing it. So that's something to look forward to. And again, it's something completely free to our members and to those who follow us, just as value added,
Good
Yeah, and I think we haven't even ironed out the details ourselves yet, guys. We just kind of birthed this idea yesterday, so we're going to talk about it. We'll probably announce more about it next week, but again, I think we're all going to kind of contribute in just do something. I don't know if it's going to be daily or every few days or something like that. We haven't figured out the details yet, but it'll just give you guys more access to us in a direct sort of way. Instead of just posting questions in a group or whatever, you'll have the ability to actually communicate with us in real time. So
good deal. Well, I got tripped up at the beginning, but I think we should go down the line here and say hi, because Chris has been on a tour of the U.S., so he's been on the move a lot. How's it going, Chris?
Doing excellent, yeah. Great to be back.
Yeah, good deal, good deal. Where are you at right now?
I'm in Florida.
Nice.
After spending some really nice time with Neil Patel and being on stage with him.
Whoa, awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Cool. Awesome, awesome. All right, Hernan, I see you're muted, but how's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm unmuted now. Hey guys, hey everyone. It's really, really good to be here.
Good deal. And I'm going to skip you last two because Marco and Bradley already talked. So I'm going to circle back around, though. I think today is the end of the contest that we've been running, right? So we had the contest going, you guys, for the last 10 days, and we had some pretty awesome prizes lined up, including Mastermind membership, Masterclass, V2, free books, the Freedom Journals that we're going to mail to people. So Hernan, I believe, has a list of the winners, don't you?
Yeah, we do. And just so you know, guys, we had like over 400 people participating on the giveaway, which is pretty damn cool. We only have 10 prizes right now. So, if you haven't won, do not be discouraged. We usually do this quite often. And so stay tuned. And yeah, we have
a year, right?
Yeah, probably twice a year. And yeah, we gave away 1 full year of Mastermind, 1 full year of Masterclass, 3 full years, 3 accounts for the full year of IFTTT SEO version 2 Academy, and also 5 Freedom Journals. Okay. Now, just as a caveat, you can live anywhere in the world to get the first 5 prices, like Mastermind, Masterclass, and the V2, but you need to live in the US to get the Freedom Journal for shipping expenses and those kind of things. Just so you know, if you do not live in the US but you still want to get the Freedom Journal, you will still need to pay for shipping and those kind of things, but we will iron out the details. We will send you an email in case you won. We'll send you guys an email, and you will need to answer back over the next 48 hours to make sure that you acknowledge that you want to get the prize, etc. If not, we will pick somebody else, all right? So yeah, we had the lucky winner for, let me go for the Freedom Journals first.
Cool. This is where I wish we would have had some music queued up. I guess we're gonna
yeah.
Man, damn it, we dropped the ball.
Yeah. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Freedom Journals, and the Freedom Journals goes to Aiden, goes to Jeff, Chirag, Javier, and Al Robinson. We're gonna email you guys shortly after Hump Day Hangouts, so congratulations for the winners over there. Then we have the 3 version 2.0s at IFTTT SEO Academy 2.0s. The winners are Tunukwa, I hope I'm saying that right, Henry Shen, and Brian also won those. The winner for the yearly masterclass was Bill Betzol. So Bill, I'm going to be contacting you shortly to iron out the details. And the big winner of the Mastermind yearly membership was Brett. So Brett, congratulations. We'll send over. Oh, there we go. We have some clapping. Yay!
Congratulations, guys. That's, I mean, Mastermind alone, that's $3,500 value. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's around $9,000. Yeah. So these are the guys we're gonna be contacting you. Please reply, acknowledge the email over the next 48 hours, so that we iron out the details. And if not, we will find some.
You guys want to paste a list of their first names only and of who won on the event page?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Other than that, do we have any other announcements?
And on my end, if you guys are good, I guess we can hop into it.
Okay. Let me. I've got. You should see my partition screen again, like all these windows. It's very difficult with both Facebook Live and Hangouts at the same time. So let me figure out what the hell I'm doing here, and then we'll switch over. Okay. You guys should be seeing on Facebook at least the events page. Now let me do it in Google.
Let me see, and I will check out Facebook.
We should be right here. Okay, I think you guys are all seeing.
I see the Hump Day Hangout page only.
Okay, that's what we should be seeing.
All right, you're good to go on Facebook too.
Okay, all right, and we're good on the events page for the video too. Like you guys are seeing my screen now. I just want to make sure.
Yep. Yeah, we're good.
All right. So, Richard Shea, he says, I recently saw your video on silos. I have an existing WordPress site with a little more than 100 posts that I've been thinking about converting to silos. Is it worth converting to a URL directory silo or a virtual silo enough? Virtual silo is enough, Richard. You would wreak havoc on your site if you tried to set up physical silo, which would be using, showing the silo structure in your actual URL. That would be a real pain in the ass. I've done that in the past where I've converted a non-siloed site to a physical siloed site, one that had quite a bit of content on it, and it's a nightmare. And so you're better off just using the virtual silo method. So it's just, you can accomplish the same thing based on how you interlink. So your internal linking. And it's just as effective, guys. I personally like the physical silo better because I like seeing it in the URL, the actual hierarchy of the terms in the URL. But in reality, as far as ranking goes, it doesn't make much difference. Virtual silos are just as effective. So save yourself the hassle. Dean says, if you get a manual action and it says we're not going to derank your whole site, just the suspicious backlinks, would you attempt a reconsideration request or carry on but be more careful? Even though Google said it in Webmaster Tools, I've noticed the main URL doesn't show up for the terms no more. It's the city name plus keyword pages that rank now. Okay, Dean, I've had some sites that's happened to as well. It really depends. Like, personally, I try to get those removed if it's a money site that, I try to get the manual actions removed. So, but if it's not affecting the money pages, the ones that are actually driving traffic, I would still work on trying to get that manual spam action or whatever, unnatural links profile, whatever the message was. I'd still try to get that removed. But if it's not affecting your main money pages, then it's not like you have to do it today. You know what I mean? So take your time. And a lot of the times it's just a matter of Google will tell you that you're supposed to, when you submit a reconsideration request, that you're supposed to submit like notes saying that you contacted the webmasters and asked them to remove the links and things like that. At least you tried to, and that sort of thing. But I've had success with just identifying the spammy links, creating a disavow file, submitting the disavow file, then pinging those links. In other words, sending the links that I'm disavowing through an indexing service or a couple indexing services to get Google to recrawl them, and then that when they recrawl them, that's when they'll apply the disavow file that you submitted, and then submitting a reconsideration request. And that's the only thing that I've ever done, and it works really well. But again, I've had that happen in the past where I've got sites that said unnatural links, but it wasn't affecting any of the money pages. So it wasn't like something that I had to do immediately. It's just something that I'll take my time on when I have time to work on it and that kind of thing. What do you think, Marco and Hernan?
Whoops, sorry, I was with the winners. Yeah, I'll definitely send a reconsideration request. Probably you will see, because a manual penalization is not, usually most of the time, it's not like the end of the world. You can get probably a page hit or a couple of backlinks hit. It happens that if those backlinks were the ones that were bringing you the most juice, you will definitely see a drop, but not because the website is penalized. And so I think that, yeah, reconsideration requests, and even if you send a couple of emails to the webmasters asking them to remove those links, they know that is most of the time out of your control whether they remove it or not, and even if they are super spammy, most likely they won't. So yeah, just send a couple of proofs that you are taking hands on the matter. So
yeah, and just so you know, Dean, there's a lot of services now that do that sort of thing. And personally, I've done it a couple times myself. I've probably done it half a dozen times, where I've tried to clean up backlink profiles of existing sites and stuff, and it's just so freaking time consuming. Now I'd rather just spend the money on having a service do it for me. I mean, what I do is I'll go in and just do the disavow file. I'll do that myself, and if I can get the penalty lifted that way, then great. But if not, if they want more work done and the disavow file isn't successful, it's not enough for Google to lift that penalty or the manual action that they've taken. And sometimes it's not. And when that's the case, I don't go for it a second time. I'll just hire a service to do it. I've used a couple different services. I don't have any handy right now, but maybe I can post them on the events page later. So, but again, it's one of those things where it's more time consuming than it's worth. So in my opinion, I'd rather just hire somebody else to do it. It's not something I like to do. It's very tedious work. Sky says, I've noticed in Majestix, Ahrefs and SEO powersuite that some of my IFTTT links have been removed from the index. Can you briefly explain why this is occurring and how you get the backlink put back into your backlink profile? Well, Sky, I've mentioned this many, many times. Because they're Web 2.0 links, a lot of those backlink analysis tools won't keep those in their index because it's just hard on their servers. Because they're considered lower quality links, right? And so because of that, a lot of, like, for example, Majestix is terrible about showing Web 2 links. They don't show them very often. Unless your Web 2 links particularly have strong metrics, they won't. They typically won't show them in your backlink profile. Doesn't mean that they're not there. If you go look at your site in Search Console, you're going to see that your links are your links are being counted by Google. And that's all that matters to me. If Majestix doesn't show them, so what? In my opinion, because if a competitor is looking at my domain through Majestix and they see all my Web 2 links, then they know what the hell I'm doing. So in my opinion, I don't want to just freely give that information up. So the fact that Majestix doesn't show those links is okay in my book. However, if you want to force Majestix to show those links, then you can go under to the URL tools or whatever and then submit URL and submit a list of your Web 2 links. And that doesn't guarantee that they will include them in their index, but it will a lot of the times get them to show up. So I can't speak for Ahrefs because I haven't used Ahrefs in about 2 years now, or SEO PowerSuite. I just use Majestix, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I remember Ahrefs showed Web 2 links more than Majestix did, but they were still limited in what they showed. So, but again, if you go check Search Console, I guarantee you Google's seeing your links, and that's all that matters. As long as Google sees them, what difference does it make?
I totally agree, and this is why I tell people now to concentrate more on the Google tickle instead of worrying about third-party metrics that we know nothing about. We know how to go into or communicate, let's say, with the algorithm, right? We know that because Google tells us how to do it. And so as long as we concentrate on that, who cares about third-party metrics? Because in the end, what's going to tell you whether you're successful or not is the traffic that you're getting to the website. I mean, that's
right.
The bottom line. And that's what you should be looking at. And the way that you get traffic, the way that you get rankings, the way that you do this is through the Google tickle. I know it seems facetious and it seems funny, but seriously, do the Google tickle. OIS Academy, IFTTT V2.0, and that's all you need. You don't need third-party metrics to tell you whether you're getting traffic or not.
That's right. And just so you know, in Majestix, I'm not logged in because I'm in Firefox in this browser, so I'm not logged in. But if you go to Tools, and then you go to Link Map Tools, URL Submitter. Oops, excuse me. So Tools, Link Map Tools, URL Submitter, and then if you're logged in, it'll give you a screen where you can submit, I think it's up to 100 URLs per day. And so that's what you can do. And in the past, I've done that, where I've just gone and extracted my profile URLs or the actual post URLs from the Web 2s and submitted them. But those were for like case studies and stuff, because my actual money sites, I don't really, personally, I kind of like the fact that they're not showing for the world to see. So. Okay, from Justin DiCarlo, this was from the Facebook group. He says, 2 questions. Is there any way to bulk upload videos manually using Wirecast in YouTube, or do you have to manually make an event for each video? As far as I know, you have to manually do it with Wirecast. He says, I can't find any info on bulk upload. I'm assuming this is why Bradley uses Hangout Millionaire to automate the process. That is correct, Justin. Hangout Millionaire is an awesome tool. I haven't used it barely at all in like probably 4 or 5 months, to be honest with you, and it's just it hasn't been something I've used a lot. Still paying for it though. But Peter Drew has developed another product. It's in beta right now, but it's got to be coming out of beta anytime now. And as soon as it is available, we will definitely be promoting it, guys, because I'm testing it myself and it's awesome. And it's called LiveRank Sniper. And it's the Peter Drew developed Hangout Millionaire, so anything that he puts out is always good. And it's really cool because what it does is it goes out and schedules a bunch of live events. So you use a test account. I don't recommend using a money account, but use a test account, and it will go out and schedule live events based on your keywords. You can put a spun description in so that each live event that it creates will have a different version of the description. It's awesome what it will do. And then what it does is it will automatically go out after the live events have been scheduled, and they're made public so that they can index. Then the software goes out and it scans for the keywords that it's set up, and it's all automated. I mean, it's really, really cool. It will go out and scan the first 2 pages of the search results for those keywords and see if any one of those live events has ranked. The scheduled live event has ranked. And anything that's ranked on the first 2 pages, especially on a test account that doesn't have syndication networks and everything else, most likely you're going to be able to rank that on first page, especially when you publish or live stream an actual video with networks attached, syndication networks and everything. So my point is, I don't know whether it's going to be monthly. It's probably going to be a monthly because of the updates, but as far as I know, it's going to be less expensive than Hangout Millionaire, and it's really, really cool. And what's cool is it will schedule the live events, and you can actually, like for example, if one of the live events ranks, like let's say #1 in Google for one of the keywords, you can actually go in and upload the video through the software to that live stream event, so you don't even have to mess with that live stream or create another live stream. That's if you're doing it with test channels and it's already ranked. But if you have some, like if you want to run it through a money channel that has syndication networks on it or attached to it, then you would just go ahead and delete those events from the test channel and then resubmit them through your main money channel so that you get the syndication push and everything else, if that makes sense. But keep in mind, you can also still upload a video or live stream it to the scheduled event through the software on the test channel, and then set up like recipes so that you can re-syndicate a video. We've talked about this before. The like recipes are on the account workbook template on the IFTTT recipes tab. There's the like recipes now. So you could essentially still syndicate or publish the video through the test channel and then just go like it from your money channel, and that will still syndicate it out so that you don't have to do a second live stream, if that makes sense. So anyways, when it's available, we're certainly going to let you guys know. I would hold off, Justin, from buying like Hangout Millionaire until LiveRank Sniper comes out. I think it's a little bit of a simpler tool, and I really like it. So unfortunately, with Wirecast, everything with Wirecast is manual. And in fact, I'm using OBS now, which is Open Broadcaster software, and it's free, and it's less buggy than Wirecast. It's easier to set up, in my opinion. So
yeah,
you
much
should check it
faster.
out.
Wirecast is a little bit odd to get connected to accounts, and
Yeah.
OBS is super simple.
Yeah, it's really simple. Like that's what we're live streaming on Facebook with right now. Actually, is OBS. So, okay, number 2 is I build a persona-based. I built a persona-based 2-tiered IFTTT network. I also built my branded channel, Tier 1 IFTTT network. Does this mean I have to upload videos to both networks via YouTube? I don't understand what you're saying. Are there any problems with this due to duplicate content, as videos will be the same on both networks? No, there's no duplicate content issues with videos. But I don't understand I don't understand what you're asking about, Justin. About having 2 separate networks. You can a 2-tiered network. Remember, Tier 2 is triggered by RSS feeds from the Tier 1 network. So all you need to do is syndicate your content to your Tier 1 network from YouTube. And the second tier will automatically syndicate anything from your Tier 1 blogs if you have it set up correctly. Follow the training that we have provided, and you should be fine. So you hook YouTube as your trigger in IFTTT for Tier 1, but then your Tier 2 networks are triggered by the RSS feeds of the Tier 1 blog accounts, Blogger, Tumblr, WordPress, right? So like I said, you shouldn't have to. Now, if you want to stack additional networks on your YouTube channel, you certainly can. You can have one YouTube channel attached to as many different IFTTT networks as you want. You just need a separate IFTTT account for each network. So, like, let's say you have 5 Tier 1 networks that you want to attach to one YouTube channel. Perfectly fine to do that. What you need to do is have 5 IFTTT accounts, 1 per network, and you just go in and activate your main money channel, your YouTube channel, as the YouTube channel in each IFTTT account. You can have a YouTube channel activated in an unlimited amount of IFTTT. At least I've never hit the limit. So there might be a limit somewhere, but I haven't hit it. So hopefully that makes sense. This one was from Josh Bailey. He says, another question, a silo question. After watching the silo vids, basic and advanced, I want to restructure my WordPress site to silo it. I think the on-page stuff could be better as well, but my question here is just about the silo structure. I'm a chiropractor in Seattle. My website is my office's website. Okay, so it's a physical location. It's a real business. I want to target the golf injury market and the weight loss market. Would you structure the silo from the top down as county, then city, then target market keywords, or maybe another way I'm not thinking of? Okay, I started to answer this in Facebook, Josh, but I posted it over here intentionally because it was going to be a little bit more involved. And so as far as if you are a point of sale business, in other words, if people come to your location, they come to your store to make a purchase, in your case it's a chiropractor, so for an office visit, whatever, you're probably not going to be targeting a very broad area. You're saying you're in Seattle. So my point is you don't need to silo based on locations, because that's typically reserved for like the service type businesses, the ones where the business goes to the customer's location. In that case, you'd want to silo out based on location so that you get the SEO benefit of that. In your case, since you're in one location, a static location, then most likely you don't need to do any sort of location siloing. I would silo based on services or topics, in other words, so topics/services. In your case, you could have like a top-level chiropractic. I don't know anything about this industry, so I'm just going to be kind of throwing some ideas out there as far as like how I would structure the silo, but since I'm completely ignorant to the chiropractic market, I really don't know how to stack the keywords. This is going to be up to you to determine how to properly structure your silo based on the keywords, but a general way that I could recommend would be something like, you have a chiropractic injury category or something, or whatever you call those, the general term for that, and then under that you would have subcategories: golf injury, weight loss. Oh, well, that's a different one. Weight loss is different. I thought it was another injury term. So you might have to do. I didn't know chiropractors had something to do with weight loss. Shows how much I know about chiropractors. Yeah, you would just have to figure out what your top level terms are, Josh, and then figure out like how to categorize it. I mean, if your entire site is, if it's just a chiropractic site, you don't need a chiropractor top level category, right? You could just start off with subcategories, which would be the top level. Your top level silos would be like what you would consider subcategories of the chiropractor term. Does that make sense? Am I making? I feel like that's as clear as mud.
It makes sense. It makes sense, really.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So, anyways, my point is you just want. What I would do is just worry about going with topics and services, and not worry about siloing a location, because you don't need to. That's more reserved for like service-based businesses. So just do your keyword research and stack your keywords. And guys, all I do for that is I just open up an Excel file, or I use Google Drive or spreadsheets mainly. But just put your top level terms and start doing your keyword research. I go through the same process. I've talked about this a dozen times, but I go to Google Trends. I use PowerSuggest Pro, and through those I'll just start stacking my keywords in a logical manner. Also, by the way, when you're using Google Keyword Planner, which, remember guys, it's an AdWords tool, not an SEO tool. However, you can also get some silo ideas and how to group keywords together through the ad groups tab when you use the Google Keyword Planner. And again, it's not perfect, but it will give you some ideas on how to group keywords together. Also, remember to use Google Trends and look at the related search phrases, both the top and the recent tabs in Google Trends, and that will give you some additional silo grouping ideas. Okay? And then PowerSuggest Pro will give you your long tails, so for your supporting posts. Joel says, hey Bradley, I've been a member of IFTTT V1 and V2, and the training is absolutely solid as I've been able to rank videos. I'm going to +1 that. Effortlessly. I forgot that. He was been able to rank videos effortlessly. Unfortunately, I missed Marc's webinar on May 16th on Iframe and JavaScript. However, I tried to figure out his strategy of Google property stacking to some extent. I think so. I would like to know if you build backlinks, GSA or blue chip backlinks to G Drive or G sites, or the properties embedded in Web 2 posts, and also does getting Tony's gig of 5,000, so he's talking about Tony Peacock, a video marketing group, 5,000 GMap embeds help in getting ranked for tough competition keywords. Hope you won't mind answering the question, as I'm trying to complete a deal with your answers so I can be part of the RYS Academy. There's not a +2 button. Or +2 it.
+5.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying +5.
Yeah, +5. Yeah, okay, so do we build backlinks? Yes, sometimes. What I like to do is I like to do the RYS stack or the drive stack and then see what happens with just that, because I always try to do the bare minimum to achieve the results that I want. And then if I don't get the results that I want, then I will do additional stuff. So when I do a drive stack, I will let it sit usually for just a few days, at 7 days, 10 days, and monitor, see what kind of an effect it had on the site or the maps if I'm trying to rank in the 3-pack. And then if it hasn't gotten to where, if I haven't achieved the result that I want, then I will go send it to my link building team to build the links, which you guys have access to that through SERPspace. You can order link building packages for drive stacks. But yeah, you can use GSA, you can use PBNs, you can use, you can buy PBN blasts from, from providers. You can do any sort of link building at all to the drive stacks, because they're Google properties, guys. They can withstand the abuse,
My only comment would be, do as little as you need to
That's
rank.
right.
I mean, go ahead, build a stack, and see where it ranks, right? And then you adjust.
Right.
Because you'll know if it ends up on page irrelevant, I don't know, 99, you've got a lot of work to do to rank. But if you end up on, 4 or 5, then, just some tweaks, maybe some extra content, some siloing, whatever you can do, some extra content inside the G stack, there's a bunch of things that you can do. But if you do everything all at once and nothing happens, then what do you do?
Then you've got nothing left.
Right. Or was it that you did too much?
Right.
All at once. Did you did you hit it while it was dancing? You'll never know. So you do one thing and see what happens, then you do the next. You should have a process, right? We had a process discussion in one of the threads just recently. You have a process, but build yourself a spreadsheet. Well, if this happens, then I do this, and if this happens, then I do this, so that you know exactly what it is that you need to do. And then it becomes just lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. It becomes that easy.
Yeah, and guys, by the way, at 5 p.m., so in 30 minutes when this webinar is over, we're doing the masterclass webinar, which was a public version today. You guys are all free to attend. Adam, as a matter of fact, if you want to drop the link on the events page, you can use the bradleybenner.com/outsource link, because that'll redirect to the events page for that. And we're going to be talking about outsourcing, and one of the things that we're going to be talking about is how to create processes and systems so that you can duplicate yourself. And so what Marco just said about using a spreadsheet is kind of like a flow chart, like a checklist for whatever you're going to do. Like, for example, build your ROIS stack, let it sit for 7 to 10 days. That could be a line, a row on the spreadsheet or whatever. And then if it hasn't ranked, do this, and then send it over to link building, either to have mass links built or PBN run or whatever it is that you use for backlink building. My point is you create a process, because then it's like now you have a repeatable process that you can use for every single project, and it's something that you could actually outsource. And it's just a matter of developing that process the first time, and once it's been developed, you can hand that process off to somebody and let them do it for you and free yourself up to do higher level tasks. And that's what I would recommend that you do. So Marco's suggestion about creating like a process sheet for that would be a great way for you to start developing that out. Okay. Let's see, and does getting Tony's gig? Yeah, embedding maps helps. If you know how to fix a My Map up, optimize a My Map the correct way, then yeah, syndicating that map at the embed code of that map, just like it's a YouTube video, is absolutely powerful. So check it out, try it, and you'll see. And we might be offering some of those services too in the future, maybe. Right now
we're definitely working on a way to post
maps codes.
Yes, absolutely. We are working on that because it works. And since our networks will already be aged and have just tons of power, they should work that much better.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is a perfect segue into this question. I saw this one earlier from Michael. He's talking about video powerhouse best practices, which, we're revamping that entire process. Marco is actually taking over as the lead on that because I'm working on some other projects now. But I'm glad, because now we're going to be developing into the video powerhouse. And we're improving it already. There's no question, and we're also adding a whole bunch of different stuff to it now that are going to make it so much stronger. Not only for just videos, but also, like what Marco just said, for map syndication and some other various things that we're doing to conform to the semantic web. So right now it's still cheap because we're rebuilding a lot of this stuff inside Video Powerhouse, guys. If you're interested, get in now, because it'll lock your price in. Once we get, as we're working on developing this out a little bit more, obviously the price will be going up, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and just so people know, we do have now a programmer and a team just going over any errors that pop up, anything that goes wrong with any of the websites. They're right on it, and they try to bring it back as quickly as possible. So we are on that. It's fully supported. We also have the other guys that we partner with that are constantly in there too, trying to make it better. So it's just going to be that much better once everything's in place. We're going to add categories. So yeah, if you can get in it, I suggest the time is now, because when the price goes up, you can lock in the price wherever you get in. That's how we usually do it, right?
Yeah, and it's really insane right now. So, but that's the thing. We brought on a separate. Well, it's somebody that's been working with Marco anyways, a programmer that we really needed somebody that can focus on like bug squashing in just that in Video Powerhouse alone, and taking suggestions and that kind of stuff, and that's what he's doing. So we've got a better system in place, and it's still a work in progress, but it's getting better. Okay, so the question from Michael, or the several, is over the past years we discussed a variety of procedures and tools that can be used to maximize video ranking. I'm getting a little confused as to what to use when. Please comment on your strategic approach to ranking a local video with reasonable competition, say Best Plastic Surgeons, Seattle. Well, you know, a lot of guys, remember that a lot of the video ranking stuff has to do with keyword selection. I mean, that's like that's half the battle. Is proper keyword selection, and sometimes you just got, if it's too broad of a term and there's, for whatever reason, Google just will not rank some videos sometimes for certain keywords. Certain keywords they just won't show videos on page 1, or even if they do, it's very limited. Like, you can fight and fight and fight to get them to rank, and then once they rank, they last a couple days and then they're back down to page 2, and that's just the nature of the game. That's why keyword selection is so important. But let's continue with the question. As an example, launch 12 videos using Hangout Millionaire, Hangout Live events on a YouTube channel with a 2-tiered IFTTT network. Now, please outline the approach you would take over the next month to boost ranking, the critical path to success with my tools. I wouldn't use Hangout Millionaire with a YouTube channel that's connected to a 2-tiered network. And the reason why I say that is because Hangout Millionaire, you can bust out a whole bunch of videos at once, like, you know, 10, 15 videos at a time, or even if you do what Peter Drew recommends, and that's do under 10 per day. I usually do about 5 videos per 24-hour period on any one channel. So if I want to do more, I just use more channels. But the problem with syndicating those types of videos to a YouTube network, or excuse me, a syndication network, is the fact that the keywords are all so closely related if you're setting up your campaigns correctly inside of Hangout Millionaire, and also that the videos are typically the same video. The only thing different is maybe the opening slide and the closing slide, you know, the thumbnail images and that kind of thing. You can get your networks terminated, your network's accounts terminated for spam, in other words, because that's what we're doing, guys. I mean, let's be honest, we're spamming the web with one video, which is just multiple variations of it. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I mean, I make money from spam all day long. So my point is, just keep that in mind. So when I use Hangout Millionaire, I use them on test channels that aren't connected to any syndication networks. They're just plain Jane YouTube channels that have been phone verified for the live stream ability. And then I test a bunch of keywords, just like I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Live Rank Sniper. Test a bunch of keywords, and then the ones that rise up or surface, you know, within the first 2 pages or so, typically are the ones that I know that going through a properly optimized channel that's connected to syndication networks is going to rank even better. And so what I'll use is those tools just to determine, it's like research and discovery, determine what types of keywords are going to have the most likelihood of success. And then I will go actually create those. And you can use Hangout Millionaire to target those keywords that you were successful with on your money channel, but you'll be doing less of them. So for example, if you're going to test 12 videos like you just said in your question here, maybe only 3 or 4 of them are going to be worthy of any additional effort. And if that's the case, then you can go re-syndicate those 3 or 4 or republish those 3 or 4 videos for those keywords on your money channel that is connected to a network. But that way it's a lot less, it's not that overwhelming amount of videos that are all very, very closely related in virtually the same video going across your networks, which could end up getting those accounts terminated. So hopefully that makes sense. Be a little bit smart about this, guys. When you're poking keywords or testing keywords, you want to try to use test channels, not money channels. And you don't need syndication for testing, okay? Now, I might use CrowdSearch or Video Powerhouse or SendWire or SafeLinks. Could you please explain what your approach would be with these tools and at what stage? Okay, guys, with like I said, with videos, all I do is first I test using test channels, just mentioned. Once I determine the ones that are likeliest to rank, then I will go publish those through a money channel that syndicates through my networks. Then I let everything sit for about 14 days. And I'll go back and check. And I will obviously check between when I syndicate or uploaded the video or published the video to the 14-day period. A lot of the times I will have achieved what I wanted without doing anything else. However, if within 14 days I have not achieved the desired results, then, well, crowd search, I usually always set up a crowd search campaign immediately anyways. That's just like, Step 1, publish the video through my and syndicate through my networks. Step 2, set up crowd search campaign. I just do that anyways because that traffic going to that video is going to help it to rank. And that's why I said I leave everything sit for about 2 weeks, because it takes time for Google to recognize where that video is across all the network sites, especially if you're using two-tiered networks, or if you stacked multiple two-tiered networks. It takes time for Google to recognize those where that video is. And so it just sometimes will take a few days before it really ranks where it should anyways. But then sending traffic through the video, and especially if you start using some referral traffic like what we've talked about with the crowd search training. If you're not sure, go to our YouTube channel and search Crowd Search Training 2016. Go to youtube.com/semantic mastery, or Google it, Crowd Search Demo or Crowd Search Training 2016, and you'll see our video, and you'll see exactly what we talk about, how to use crowd search. You can set up some stuff for that. Then again, after about 2 weeks with just the syndication and the crowd search running, then if I need some additional push, which happens, Video Powerhouse without question. If you have access to that, you submit it through there. Then I would wait again for a few more days, 5 days, 7 days, maybe even as much as 10 days. And if it's still not ranked, then you go do more. Like we've already said several times in today's webinar alone, always do the bare minimum. So if you're too impatient with SEO and you throw the kitchen sink at stuff, or you throw a partial kitchen sink today, and in 3 days goes by and you don't see the results you want, so you throw another part, and within 3 or 4. Within a week, you've worked on it 3 or 4 different times, and you've thrown everything you had at it. You don't know whether, if it ends up ranking, you don't know at what point you could have stopped doing stuff. So that's why I like to wait. And so now, like when I do a video for clients or for the video production companies or whatever, I tell them it's going to take me about 30 days to rank. Most of the time, within a few days, I'm submitting an email to them showing them that it's already ranked. But I tell them it's going to take me 30 days, and I usually take about 30 days to go through the entire process. So syndicate, crowd search, wait a couple weeks. If it hasn't ranked, send it through Video Powerhouse if you have access to that. If you don't, use another syndication network. If you have it, you can set up like recipes, which we just talked about as well. It's in the account workbook template. You could have a secondary syndication network that you could use for that purpose. If you have SendWire, you could use that, or FCS Network, or any sort of Web 2 posting tool. Safe links for particularly tough keywords, those work really, really well, because you can get some really powerful safe links and point them at a YouTube video. I don't recommend doing that though, because it's a monthly expense for those links that you got to rent them. You could also buy your own links if you're using something like blue chip backlinks that are relevant, and point them to the YouTube video URL, and you can just do redirects for those. So you don't have to rebuild a site.
Yeah. What I wanted to add here, Bradley, is that if you're actually building backlinks like SAP or blue chip backlinks, like really powerful backlinks, I would say that instead pointing those to the video, I would point them to either the channel or the playlist, right? Since you will be that way, you will be having more bang for your buck, because you are powering up a bunch of videos. And then you can recycle that link juice from video to video, using techniques like the ones we discuss on YouTube Silo Academy. Mm-hmm. But I would suggest that you power up because here's the deal: when you have a power up, an authoritative channel, an age channel, and a theme channel, you will get results not only for one video but for several. Yeah. So SAP or blue chip backlinks, or even FCS, if you're doing backlinks by themselves, do not point them at the video directly, but to the playlist or the channel itself. So,
yeah, I like to use the playlist, guys. I mean, that's what YouTube Silo Academy was all about. And because remember, a playlist is a container. So if you point links to the playlist and it's themed well, you treat it just like a silo. Then all of that every video in that container or in that playlist will benefit from those inbound links. And then it's also the internal linking structure, so how you link between the videos into the playlist itself. And again, that's covered in YouTube Silo Academy. I'm sure you have access to that, Michael, so just go back through that, review that training. But Hernan is actually absolutely right. That is what you should be building the links more to the playlist. I mean, don't get me wrong, you should be doing that mainly, but if you still need an extra push for the individual video, you can also build directly to the video. So with Video Powerhouse, how many embeds? Let's see, wait a minute. Okay, how many vids would you start with, and what would your approach be? I always do 25 at a time. I use 25 submission credits at a time, and then, like I said, I wait because I don't want to you know, blast out 100 credits on one video that could have been ranked with 25. So it's always use the bare minimum and wait. Just be a little bit patient, okay? Because again, that gives you a lot more available in your tool chest for in the event that you need more push or that the video starts to slip at some point. Then you have more. You know, you could reach back into that tool bag and you have resources available. Does that make sense? Is it acceptable to use Hangout Millionaire video with videos with Video Powerhouse? I wouldn't recommend it, only because again, you'd be using a ton of credits. I mean, if you have a video that's syndicated through, or that you produced, whatever, through Hangout Millionaire, and it's starting to rank, and you just need a push, sure. But I would not suggest like taking all your Hangout Millionaire videos and pumping them through Video Powerhouse. You could, but you'd burn up a shit ton of credits. So, Kenny says, "Howdy, what's the best way to get started selling IFTTT networks to local businesses? What selling points are the best to go over with them without getting into SEO or technical jargon?" That's a great question, Kenny. We actually covered this in the monetization webinar, which we just did. I don't know. It's in the. It's Adam yelling at me. It's in the membership site, guys. The IFTTT SEO Academy membership site. Look at the updates, and the monetization webinar should be in there, or maybe it's in the advanced section. Either way, go find it in the training and go through that. I covered that. I mean, I'll talk about it briefly here, though. The best thing to talk about when selling networks to local businesses is the approach that I've always used is I ask them questions about their marketing, what they're currently doing, and if they're doing anything for social media. And most of the time they'll say, yeah, I've posted to my Facebook page a couple times and it didn't really get any results. So I always I sell IFTTT networks to local businesses through the content marketing and social media management approach. And then I explain the benefits that content marketing and having that network will have on their search engine optimization as well. In other words, I approach it from automating their social media, because I always ask the business owner, like, so tell me, what are you doing as far as social media? Do you have a strategy for that? And 90% of the time they don't, or they'll give me some bullshit answer that really doesn't make any sense, and they know it. So then I ask them, we'll say, well, you probably should be, posting regularly, and that would give you better results, right? And I keep asking them questions and getting them to say yes, yes, yes throughout, and getting so that they're going to end up coming to their own conclusion. I just lead them to that conclusion, that they know that they should be publishing content on a regular basis, and that having a syndication network which will automate publishing their content to all of their social media properties at the same time, it's going to have an SEO benefit, which essentially will help them to rank in Google for their desired keyword phrases, which will generate search traffic and leads for their business. So I try not to talk in a technical way to most clients, because that's when their eyes will glaze over and you will lose them. As soon as you start talking about what you can do for them as far as the features of your services, you'll lose them. Instead, you need to talk to clients about the benefits that your services provide. Don't talk about the how, talk about the why. Does that make sense? And that's really how you sell to clients. I found that to be a much an effective strategy. Great question, though. Go back and watch the monetization webinar.
Yeah, it is, because we usually tend to focus on what the client doesn't need to know, and in fact, if the client comes and asks you about rankings, or I'm ranking on page 2 for this term and I want it to on page 1, that's probably not the best client to have, because he will be most likely micromanaging you. So yeah, the best client to have is the one that talks to you as you were a business partner, like in terms of traffic, in terms of conversions, those kind of things. So I think those are the best clients to have, rather than the ones that are extremely focused on rankings and backlinks. Those kind of how many backlinks you gonna build per month? What the fuck do you care?
Yeah, right. That's a good answer. Well, we've got to wrap it up here in a minute. I think we'll try to run through Mason's question, guys. He says, "I got spam. Dr. Gary provided."
Can't we do Mason in the master class?
Well, masterclass is going to be the outsourcing webinar. There's not going to
Mastermind.
And oh yeah, that's right. Mason's in Mastermind. Mason, post your question in Mastermind for tomorrow. We've got tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be mainly Q&A anyways. So if you want to we'll get to your question in Mastermind, Mason. So do we have time for one more, guys, or no? It's up to you, Adam. You're the one who yells at me.
Yeah, so long as we start the masterclass on time.
All right, we got one more.
Let's do Alex and go.
I gotta look out for the masterclass people.
Well, you guys are all welcome to attend the next webinar. Like I said, go to bradleybenner.com/outsource. That's the event page. We're going to be starting that in about 10 minutes. You guys are free to attend over there as well. It's probably not going to be Q&A, though, guys. It's an actual like presentation today. So if we have time at the end, we'll answer some questions. Alex says, hey, guys, I apologize in advance if I ask dumb questions. There are no dumb questions, Alex. But for the most part. I'm new to SEO, and I purchased IFTTT V2 courses. Awesome. Welcome. Lots of great info, worth every penny. From what I understand, IFTTT covers the syndication of social media posts. Now what I have that part covered, what do you recommend I research next? There are too many courses, and I can't afford to buy a bunch of courses that won't teach me what I need to know. Also, if I'm looking to go 100% white hat, should I avoid PBNs? Well, there is no 100% white hat, Alex. And that's not a dumb question, and I'm not being a smartass either. There is no 100% white hat unless you just publish content to your site and you never build a backlink and you never do anything to try to influence your search rankings. That's white hat. And who the hell does that? What do you publish content and then just hope that Google finds it and ranks it because your content is so awesome? And I'm saying that kind of tongue-in-cheek because anytime you do anything to try to influence the rankings, you are manipulating search results, which is black hat. So remember, the first step into determining what kind of SEO hat to wear is to realize there are no hats, right? So that said, let's see, I want to know what major things go in SEO, and I can continue research to understand and master the skills. Thanks. Well, it depends. I mean, there's so many. SEO is such a broad topic, and you're right. If you don't have a lot of money and a lot of time, or one or the other, or both, then you need to try to focus on the most actionable type of content or training. And we're certainly partial to our own. So we would tell you that to join the masterclass or mastermind if you can afford it, because that's where you're going to get the most training, or RYS Academy, which is that's kind of high level, though. That's not really for beginners. So guys, do we have anything that we could, besides masterclass and IFTTT SEO Academy, that we could recommend for him?
Well, I mean, what I would say to Alex here is that if you are into V2 Academy, you have a great way of generating clients, and also you have a great way of monetizing the networks. So that should give you, because there's a logical progression on our courses. If you start with V2, you have the fund. You should have the funds, or you should start selling networks or selling services to clients. I would consider IFTTT strategies pretty white hat, because you're syndicating out, sharing your content, etc. And with that being said, then you can join the masterclass where we cover more business-related questions. So I think consuming and asking your questions on the V2 group would be the best way to go initially.
Yeah, that and attending. Come to the Hump Day Hangouts.
Yep.
We can't answer. How do I start an SEO as a one question out of 10 or 20. But if you have questions as you're going, that's how you're going to learn the most. What's the big thing that's sticking you up? What is it about PBNs that you want to know? Ask questions like that, and that'll really help you learn.
Yeah, and so that's right. I mean, you can come here and ask questions. This is like our weekly free webinar for you guys for questions. So you can certainly come here. I would recommend, though, that with IFTTT SEO V2, you have the ability to make some money now. Again, I just mentioned this earlier. Go look at the monetization webinar that's in the training, because that'll show you how you can start, like, literally selling either full networks, or you can sell services or whatever. There's a lot of ways that you can monetize these and generate some revenue, and then come join the masterclass. And the reason I'm telling you that, Alex, is because in the masterclass we had all the archives of training when we were doing like lessons, and we have several case studies, local case studies, affiliate case studies, that are step-by-step over-the-shoulder stuff, so that you can learn how to actually go out. I mean, we even built a local lead gen site and actually got a client in there or somebody is to purchase the leads. So my point is, if you go through the masterclass training, you should have enough step-by-step info there to get you to where you need to be. Does that make sense?
I would just add for him to open his mind, to forget again, white hat, black hat, gray hat, no hat. Forget that.
Yeah.
You either manipulate or you don't. And then it's the level of manipulation that you're willing to get into to get the results. I mean, that you can go really, really deep into territory where you're not supposed to, but you also have to think of it this way. There's no bigger manipulator on the web than Google, but they try to tell you not to. So you also have to think of it in those terms. How can someone telling you not to manipulate, right? Do as I say, not as I do. Well, I don't like that line of thinking. I'm going to manipulate as much, if not more than you, to get whatever results it is that I'm looking to get, and that's it. It's really that simple as far as I'm concerned. Maybe he has his own principles or whatever it is that he's standing by. I would just say open your mind.
Yep. But you can always come here and ask questions too, Alex. But all right, guys, we are out of time. We'll see a lot of you, hopefully, in the outsourcing webinar in about 4 minutes.
The links are there, you guys. Check out the links above or below the video. I just posted it again. Click that to go to the masterclass, and then read Marco's post, you guys. It's good stuff.
We'll see you all in a few minutes. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone.